Former world number 10, Pablo Carreno Busta, has shared his thoughts on the future of men's tennis, arguing that while Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner are dominant figures of their generation, the future of the sport won't be limited to just the two of them. Carreno Busta believes that other emerging players will step up and challenge their reign, making it difficult for them to maintain sole control of the sport. Alcaraz and Sinner, two of the brightest young stars in tennis, have split the 4 Grand Slam titles of the year between them. Sinner claimed his first major victory at the 2024 Australian Open and followed it up by winning the US Open, while Alcaraz secured both the French Open and Wimbledon titles, bringing his total Grand Slam victories to 4. They are the only two players born after 1996 to have won a Grand Slam title, with Daniil Medvedev, who claimed the 2021 US Open and is now 28 years old, being the next youngest Grand Slam champion on the ATP Tour. Some tennis analysts have speculated that Alcaraz and Sinner could form a new Big Two in men's tennis, similar to the legendary dominance once held by the Big Three: Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic. These two young stars are seen as potential long-term rivals who could dominate the sport for years to come. However, in an interview with Punto de Break, Carreno Busta expressed caution about making such predictions, saying it's too early to assume that Alcaraz and Sinner will rule the sport for the next 2 decades as Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic did. They are still very young, both Sinner and Carlos, Carreno Busta said. It's clear that they are incredibly talented, but it's a bit premature to think they'll dominate for 20 years like Roger, Rafa, and Novak did. He pointed out the difficulty of maintaining top-level performance for such a long time, especially in a sport as demanding as tennis. Many things can happen. It's not easy to stay at the highest level for such an extended period, and it's even harder to consistently win Grand Slam titles year after year, as has been the case this year. Carreno Busta also noted that other players could emerge who are even younger than Alcaraz, potentially creating competition. New players will come along, maybe someone 4 years younger than Carlos, for instance, and they will challenge the status quo. I don't think the future belongs only to these two players. There will be others who will make things difficult for them. But it's clear that Sinner and Alcaraz will be at the top for many years. Carreno Busta, who has been sidelined for much of the last 2 years due to injury, also reflected on the changes he's noticed on the ATP Tour during his absence. He acknowledged that both Sinner and Alcaraz have made significant improvements, while Djokovic has found it harder to maintain his dominance. However, Carreno Busta highlighted the rise of players outside the top 20 as the biggest shift he's observed. In short, Carreno Busta's insights suggest that while Alcaraz and Sinner are poised to remain at the top of the tennis world for some time, they are unlikely to have it all to themselves, as new talent will inevitably emerge to challenge.